We got some dumbass floating around this country.
This is Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
Except that torture is official U.S. government policy. It is not the result of a ruse.
This is Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
These things need to be determined by the public, not by somebody who's simply hired by the government.
Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
You're listening to Unshackled on justicenewsnetwork.org.
This is Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
opinion without evidence is called prejudice.
This is Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
I said that torture is official U.S. government policy. It is not the result of a rogue.
This is Unshackled with Ron on justicenews.net.
We got some dumbass
Somebody to be determined by the public, not by somebody who's hired by the government.
Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
You're listening to Unshackled on justicenewsnetwork.org.
This is Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Brian, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing okay. I'm glad you answered. How much time you got to talk? A little bit?
Yeah, everything's going good here, thanks to God. How about yourself? What's going on?
Oh, a lot's going on. It's just a messed up situation all the way around, but just as you said, I'm just, trusting in God. I know and I believe 100% that God can and will, and I know and trust and believe that God will set me free from this place. I am in the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in Lucasville, Ohio. I am wrongfully convicted and sentenced for 2 homicides and a home invasion that happened in Mercer County, Ohio in November of 2011. In 2011, 2 elderly people's house was robbed and they were tied up and murdered. And to this day, their murderers have never been caught. The DNA of these murderers was left all over the crime scene. And the sheriff department, the prosecutor's office, and the judge from my county all block access to testing this DNA and are basically protecting murderers by not testing the DNA with new technology that can solve the identity of these people.
So where were you at the time of these murders?
The murders happened on November 29th, which in the late evening part or the early morning hours of November 30th, according to the investigation by the detectives. I was with my girlfriend, Reagan Smith, and her mother, it was their birthday. It was her mother's birthday, Erica Holderman's birthday. And we know this for a fact because obviously it was her birthday. It wasn't just some random day. And I spent the whole day with them and spent the night with them that night. I was not at the crime scene. I was nowhere near the crime scene. In fact, my girlfriend's house was approximately 45 minutes away from the crime scene.
So why did they put you in prison?
In the winter of 2011, around the time that the murders happened, I was involved in drug use, and there were some people that I was running around with at the time who were suspected but were later cleared of possibly having involvement in the murders. During the investigation for this drug charges that I ended up getting arrested for in January of 2012, over a period of 6 months, the detectives basically maliciously targeted me and another young kid because they believed that we had information that would help them solve the crime. And when they couldn't solve the crime, they turned on us. And that's basically where my story begins.
Hang on a second. Are you saying that the DNA that they have doesn't belong to you?
The DNA, I have already been excluded from the DNA. It does not belong to me. In fact, it is DNA of one man and one woman that have never been caught yet.
You're listening to Unshackled on justicenewsnetwork.org.
You're listening to Unshackled. Unshackled with Imran on justicenews.net.
The DNA in this case, Ron, will prove I'm innocent 100%. The DNA that was found all over the crime scene. Remember that this crime was a home invasion, robbery, double homicide. That's the nature of this crime. Two people's doors. It wasn't even a forced entry.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
They said that there was no signs of forced entry. The people that were the victims, Robert and Colleen Gruby, were tied up. The house was ransacked, but the only things that the victim's family could identify that was missing was a laptop computer and the murder weapon. And so the people who tied them up left their DNA on the duct tape and on other multiple items and objects all throughout the house, such as door handles, cabinet handles. And get this, the same DNA found on the duct tape is the same DNA found on a gun case, a handgun case that was empty, found in one of the bedrooms. So whoever tied him up was the same person who took the gun out of the gun case from one of the bedrooms and killed these people, because the gun case is registered to a gun that's the same caliber that the people were killed with. And the cops, the sheriff department and prosecutor, they're suppressing all this evidence by not telling the public. They're not even looking for these people, man. We have Parabon Nano Labs, the top DNA laboratory basically in the whole world, has offered this crime for us 2 times already in the last year and a half. And the detectives and sheriff, they all know about it. They know that Parabon can and will solve this crime using that new genetic genealogy stuff. Yeah. And they won't send it in. They keep refusing it. And the reason why they won't test it is because they know what they've done. They know they convicted an innocent person, and they know that once the DNA is tested, that it will prove I'm innocent, and that they're going to either get in trouble or be embarrassed of how they're going to look for keeping an innocent man, and more likely 2 innocent kids. Because remember, there's another kid charged in this crime who also cannot give up whose DNA these people, or the people whose DNA belongs to. So the truth is sitting right there. It's waiting. God has already given me the key, given us the key to set me free, and it lies in the DNA. It's just that the sheriff department and prosecutor and judge are suppressing that evidence. They're denying access to it. If you would, anybody to use their common sense would ask, well, why would any sheriff department refuse to test DNA of 2 murderers? That don't even make any sense. And the victim's family don't even want the DNA tested. And me and my brother Levi, I believe we know why, is because the youngest daughter of the family that was killed was arguing with the man that was killed 4 days before they were killed at a Thanksgiving party. The crime happened the night of November 29th. The Thanksgiving, which was a few days before that, where the family was gathered at this house, and the youngest daughter was arguing with the old man about asking him for money. He cut her off and said, I'm not giving you no more. She stormed out the house and slammed the door, and 3 or 4 days later they were found dead. So there's a lot of cover-up going on, and the only way to get the truth and to expose these people is through media coverage, social media, and to get the power of the people behind us to demand the DNA be tested. The sheriff and all of them, they work for the people. They are elected officials. People vote them in. If you would have all the people of the community come together and say, we don't care what you say, there's 2 murderers running free, you have the DNA of them, and you have the DNA laboratory offering to help solve it, why are you not sending this in? We want it sent in. They would have no choice but to do so. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
And so that's where I stand, and that's what we're trying to do. My brother just organized a rally on 6th. I just sent you an email and told you about it earlier today. And it's a rally to speak your truth We have a DJ already coming. We just got the county commissioner, to approve our permit to go to the courthouse, and we're going to protest in the yard. We're going to have signs saying test the DNA, stop protecting murderer, Bryant Rhoades is innocent. And then there's other families who have been wronged by this, by the Mercer County sheriff and prosecutor and judge as well. There was a little baby that was killed, and the man was never even charged with murder or anything.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
But there's a lot of other families that have been wronged, and finally everybody's starting to come together and stand up to these people. So as of right now, my motion was denied last month. The judge that convicted me 10 years ago or whatever, 9 years ago, he just retired. The prosecutor that prosecuted me just was elected judge, and the sheriff just got reelected, and the detective that charged me with the crime just got a promotion to captain of the jail. He's the captain now, not a detective no more. So everybody's moving up in life, and all thanks to a lawful conviction and let murderers run free. How does that work?
Right.
And I know how it works. Just like you say, it's the devil, it's Satan running and organizing these people. Satan is the one in control of these people. They say they stand for God. They say that they're about righteousness, truth, and justice, but yet they suppress the truth, fabricate lies, and destroy innocent people's lives. And even the people who were killed have never got justice because their murderers are still running free. It's a mess, man. It's a mess. And now my little brother's dying, and I need to be home with him, and I'm stuck in here. It's a mess, man. But what are you thinking?
So, first off, man, I have never heard anyone unload their case in front of me in about 12 minutes, man. So I think that nobody knows their case better than themselves, and you've just proved it, man.
Yeah.
With evidence, with data, with facts, and with the truth. And, it's a challenge. Anyone who would listen to this.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Do I have your permission to use what you just said in the media?
Yes, Ron. I give you permission to use anything I say, any evidence that you can come across, any statements. You can use anything you want, man. You have my full permission.
Okay, then buckle up your belt. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Ron. I've been ready for a long time. Enough is enough, man. Let's solve this crime, my friend. Let's solve it. I want to come home. I want to come home to my family and these people that's been running free all these years. God is the one who we all have to answer to God at the end of the day, right? That's you can't escape God. You can't beat God. He's the one with the ultimate justice, punishment over reward, And but at the same time, these two people, executed two innocent elderly people, and they've been getting away with it this whole time because this corrupt system in my county refuses to do anything about it. And the reason why they won't, like I said before, is because they know they have come to realize what they've done, and now they're just trying to buy as much time as possible before they have to answer for what they've done. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And for a sheriff department, for a prosecutor, for a judge to deliberately and willfully choose to not solve DNA of two murderers proves that they're hiding something. And what they're hiding is that they convicted an innocent man, possibly two, and let two murderers run the streets for 10 years now. That's what they're hiding. So the truth lies in the DNA. The DNA, once the identity of these people is solved using genetic genealogy, which is a 99% effective nowadays, There's a DNA profile of one man and one woman found on the duct tape the victims were tied up with. And
You have 1 minute remaining.
if I
Bryant.
was at that crime scene,
Bryant,
yeah,
Bryant, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was with my girlfriend the whole night. The time of the murder was on November 29th, and my girlfriend's ex-mom's birthday was November 29th. I was with them the whole day and spent the night at my girlfriend's house. That whole night, her mom woke us up out of bed the next day. Her name is Erica Holderman, and my girlfriend's name is Reagan Smith.
Okay, dude. If God wishes, you'll be out. Don't give up.
Yes, sir. I believe it. I will not.
This is Unshackled with Imran on JusticeNews.net.